Aspen Ladd. I just want to pause on that for a second. Aspen Ladd. Now, she finally looked how we thought she would look when she was fighting against someone like Jermaine Darandami, but we'll talk about her later on the card. Aspen Ladd looked great. She looked competitive, but clearly winning the early rounds. And then on the stool in before the third, after some vigorous encouragement from her coach, came out and she uh, finished Yana Kunitskaya with a left cross to ground and pound and looked phenomenal. I mean, I've heard interviews about people that she fights and trains with, and just how much they talk about how much power she has and how dominant she is once she gets on top. Like, it's otherworldly given her frame and size, just all that stuff. I mean, I'm happy to see her. I'm just finally happy to have a young prospect, whether it be at bantamweight or featherweight, and ideally she will likely move up to featherweight in the future. I mean, she seemed to make bantamweight easy here. Um, Going forward, she could do either. She's still so young, man. She's 24 years old, and I'm just happy to finally have a legit prospect in the women's divisions rather than have the same 15 fighters fighting each other over and over again. So I guess that's where I'm happy about this one. How'd you feel about the performance, and how do you feel about Ladd going forward?
Well, just like we talked about, that we both felt that Ladd was the superior, more dominant grappler, wrestler, and younger, stronger, everything. The only thing that we were curious about was that a fluke knockout from GDR? Was it a bad weight cut? Was she having mental problems? But if you looked at her on the scale and during the weight cut of this one, she looked absolutely phenomenal. You could see her skin glowing, her face was glowing, the way she was smiling at the camera and at the reporters and announcers. So you could really tell that she cut weight really well this time. And so, like you said, she's 24 years old. When I was 24 years old, I was not disciplined enough to even make my dinner on time. So I don't have any ill will towards her being 24 and having to learn some lessons, especially losing against GDR. She's no joke, and she's knocked out grown men. So that's nothing to cry about. So I absolutely love Aspen Ladd. I'm super high on her. I think that if she just continues to get her striking going, that she could be a real prospect in the division. But she needs to flick that switch on a little bit sooner, because the third round is not going to do it for you at all times.
No, I completely agree. I mean, if she was like that in the first round, I think she probably could have gotten a finish in the first round, which looks that much more dominant and sets her up even more for the future.